Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Miles Hawkins, callsign Kazi from Macomb, Mississippi, and on behalf of the United States Marine Corps and Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 323, we are proud to present the virtual Legacy Hornet demo team. Our demonstration shows the power and extreme maneuverability of the FA-18C, as well as the professionalism and skill of the pilots who fly it and the crew chiefs that maintain it. The demonstration you will witness today over the Henderson Air Show is a tribute to all the men and women of the armed forces and those deployed around the globe, and in particular, those of the Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 323. Before we continue, let's first introduce the team members that make this demonstration possible. From Brisbane, Australia, our flight engineer, Bailey Fox, callsign Rue. From Chicago, Illinois, our team chief, Jonathan Dimraj, callsign Simba. From Dubuque, Iowa, our combat-proven fighter pilot and safety officer, Levi Kiernan, callsign Tango. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana, our executive officer, Luke Foster, callsign Shuggy. And your 2025 Virtual Legacy Hornet Demo Pilot, an experienced combat-proven pilot with many flight hours of multi-platform flight simulation from Las Vegas, Nevada, Aaron Lara, callsign Cuban. And once again, I am Miles Hawkins, callsign Kazi from Macomb, Mississippi, the team supervisor and narrator for today's demonstration. Today, we represent to you the raw power and strength of the best multi-role strike fighter of its time. Watch from the right as Cuban sends his jet into max afterburner and performs a classic aileron roll in front of the crowd. After the roll, he will then pull back and perform the very famous half Cuban 8.
Demo control is fired up for the virtual Heritage Flight program. Come to fight, come to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in San Diego, California, prepare to feel the sting of the legendary F-18 Hornet!
Like walking into a dream, somewhat like what you've seen, so much of what it seems. Cause we've been waiting for you, falling into this place, just giving you a small taste. Up and around till I feel so stay, you'll be back as soon anyway. I see a distant light, my girl, this can't be right.
From the right, Cuban will showcase the extreme turning radius of the Legacy Hornet. Coming in at about 400 miles an hour, he will roll his aircraft 90 degrees, pull back on the stick, and sustain 7.5 Gs throughout the turn. Then watch as Cuban slides into the vertical to set up for a high G loop. From behind the crowd, Cuban will shortly perform a maneuver that we call the Double Illumin. In this maneuver, he will perform a half loop, roll out over the top, and pull back up. While on top, you will see Cuban take the Hornet to the extreme as he pulls his nose back up to level flight, rotates his aircraft 360 degrees, and continues that turn another 180 degrees, and not one, but two consecutive flat turns. Take great pride in their ability to land aboard United States Navy aircraft carriers at the end of each sortie. These nuclear-powered floating cities can travel all around the globe without stopping for over 20 years. And now approaching from crowd right and landing configuration, Cuban will take a simulated wave off, selecting full afterburner and accelerating away from the deck. Listen closely as the pilot and the landing signal officer communicate during the carrier approach.
017, you are 3/4 mile out. Call the ball.
Hornet 1, ball.
Roger, ball. Little left. You're high. Ease power. Come a little left. A little more left. Wave off, wave off.
Ya yo me cansé, no quiero ser tu amante. Te digo de mi parte que no aguanto más. Ya no aguanto ver el otro como dice que es el dueño tuyo. Me mata el orgullo. Él ni te sabe hablar. Esta la hice pa' él.
Cuban is maneuvering his aircraft for the dirty inverted pass. This would be a dangerous and difficult maneuver, as flying the aircraft upside down completely changes the way it operates, making it very important for the pilot to make small adjustments in order to stay level. Now, from the right, Cuban in the dirty inverted pass.
Mami, yo me siento tuyo. Yo sé que tú te sientes mía. Y la novia siento tuyo. Y con él te sientes fría. Mami, yo me siento tuyo. Yo sé que tú te sientes mía. Y la novia siento tuyo. Que eres una porquería. Te caliento más. Mamá, te caliento más. Mamá, te caliento más. Mamá, te caliento más. Mamá, te caliento más. Solo una cosa te preguntaré. Si tienes frío, ¿quién te da calor? Yo soy el dueño de tu fantasía. Nadie lo hace como yo. Si te viste bonita.
Going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we look.
Cuban will now demonstrate the Hornet's ability to point its nose at will. Coming in at about 300 miles an hour, he will roll 90 degrees and pull back as hard as possible on the stick. The ability of the F-18 to switch direction at a moment's notice can mean the difference between life and death in air-to-air engagement. Now, from the left, the pitch rate demo.
I let you cut me open just to watch me burn.
caught
The Hornet has the capability of reaching speeds above Mach 1, over 800 miles per hour. From the right, Cuba will demonstrate just a portion of the F-18's true full speed. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the sound of freedom in the Hornet's high-speed pass.
porch might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cuba is now setting up for a classic Hornet maneuver known as the vertical climb. He will pull straight up into the vertical while dumping his flares, then reverse his flight path back towards show center to perform the iconic loaded roll.
All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found this in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away over and over again. Just like before. Everything you say to me. One step, one second, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Everything you say to me. One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. 'Cause I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
We salute all of our nation's soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen, and especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice by giving their lives to defend our great nation and the freedom of others. From behind and to the right, the virtual Legacy Hornet demo team proudly presents the Dedication Pass.
We're there fighting back on the front lines, strapping up their boots before the sunrise, keeping their mamas up all night in fear. They were there in the name of a hometown, of a last name that was passed down. Every day, every night, every moment we were here. They were there. They were there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to describe for you what you are about to watch. From the days of the Cold War to the present, the Marine Corps Heritage Flight is a tribute to the more than century-long history of Marine Corps aviation. In May of 1912, First Lieutenant Alfred Cunningham entered into Naval Aviation Camp, and 3 months later took off for the first time in a Burgess Model H, one of the very first aircraft used for military purposes. Marine Corps aviators have since gone on to serve in theaters such as World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the War on Terror. Ladies and gentlemen, from your right, the Marine Corps Heritage Flight. Leading this formation for you today is the Vietnam-era A4 Skyhawk, flown by Luke "Shuggy" Foster from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And on his wing in the F-18 Hornet is Aaron "Cuban" Lar from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shadows and kicks in my face.
From in front and to the left, Shuggy is maneuvering the formation to pass directly in front of the crowd for the bottom-up pass.
We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. I've taken my bows at my curtain calls. You brought me fame and
The A4 Skyhawk is a light attack aircraft used for roles such as ground attack, bombing, air refueling, and later as an aggressor aircraft at the Navy's Fighter Weapons School, more commonly known as Top Gun.
Hold my hand, everything will be okay. I heard from the heavens that clouds have been gray. Pull me close, wrap me in your aching
After more than 3 decades in use, the A4 flew its last sortie in Marine Corps service on July 6, 1990. It was then replaced by the F-18C Hornet, the multi-role strike fighter flying alongside the A4 for you today, and which is now in its own twilight years. From behind the crowd, the Marine Corps Heritage Flight is making its way in for the final pass, the formation break.
so bright tonight.
And once again, we thank you all for coming out and watching this display of Marine Corps history.
You can cry every last tear. I won't leave till I understand. Promise me, just hold my hand. Raise your head, look into my wishful eyes. That fear that's inside you will lift, give it time. I can see everything you're blind to now. Your presence.
From the right, here comes Shuggy in the A4 Skyhawk. From the left, here comes Cuban with one more high-speed pass. Pilots of both the Marine Corps and the Navy are trained to land with pinpoint precision on United States Navy aircraft carriers at sea, on unstable and sometimes pitching flight decks. Prior to the landing, naval pilots are known to execute a maneuver known as a carrier brake. With the hook down and in dirty configuration, here comes Cuban with the seat-weighted carrier brake.
That I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between. Let it be enough to reach the truth that lies across this new divide. There was nothing in sight, but memories left abandoned. There was nowhere to hide, the ashes fell like snow, and the ground.
Navy pilots are taught to virtually slam their aircraft onto the carrier deck in what many describe as performing a controlled crash. Upon touchdown, they must catch one of the 4 wires on the deck. And now on landing approach, Cuban will guide the Hornet onto the runway in the same manner as putting the aircraft onto the deck of an aircraft carrier.
To wash this memory clean, let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes across this new divide. In every loss, in every lie, in every truth that you deny, and each regret and each goodbye was a mistake to break too high. And your voice was all I heard, but I get what I deserve. So give me reason to prove me wrong, to wash this memory clean. Let the thoughts cross the distance in your eyes. Give me reason to fill this hole, connect the space between.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed today's demonstration showcasing the precision and professionalism of your United States Marine Corps pilots, as well as celebrating the more than 40-year service career of the outgoing F-18 Hornet. On behalf of the United States Marine Corps and Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 323, we thank you for coming out today and showing your support. Thank you, Anderson, and Semper Fi!